Hi guys, it's your girl Sacha Abruz. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you for stopping by. Today we'll be learning how to make this baggy ankara print pants. It's just so comfy and beautiful. So let's get right into the tutorial. So first of all, we're going to put our fabric on fold and add extra 4 inches on the fold. So now we'll take out 1.5 and mark my waist to my hip line. So after marking my waist to my hip line, I'm going to mark my waist down to the length of my trouser. So after marking the that, I'm going to divide my hip measurements. On this trouser, we're not using the waist measurement, we're just using the hip because we're going to have an elastic band. So dividing my hip by 4, I marked what I have to get my crotch depth. So this is I'm currently marking my crotch depth measurements, which is my hip divided by 4. I added 1 extra inch for ease because it's a baggy pants. So now also my hip divided by 4, I'm going to impute it on my waistline and also bring it down to my hip. Remember I told you I added extra 4 inches. So this is my original waist hip divided by 4, but now I'm going to add the extra 4 inches for the ease. So now I'll mark my extra 4 inches and I'm also taking it up to my waist because we're not using waist measurement, we're using the hip measurement. It's going the elastic that's going to drag it together. So now my crotch extension is my hip measurement divided by 20. That's how I get my crotch extension. So I'm just extending my hip line measurement so that I'll be able to connect my crotch extension to it. So I've added the 2 inches for my crotch extension. Now I'm just curving it down to my hip line. Please don't make it too curvy so that your trouser doesn't pack. So now I came down by 3 inches. 3 inches after my crotch, but you can mark immediately after your crotch line. You can mark this to get your thigh line. So I measured everything from my side to my crotch and he gave me 16 inches. So I took out 1 inch to mark and I placed it at that point where I marked 3 inches for my hemline. I also for my thigh line, sorry. I also brought that 15 inches down to my hemline. So my thigh line and my hemline is the same thing. I just connected it straight with a ruler. After connecting, I cutting out. Remember on the other side, we didn't take any shape, so we're just going to tear it open. There's no shape, it's just going to be straight. So now I'm going to put my fabric on fold again to get my back part and add a little bit of allowance. So I'm going up by 1.5 to at my center back to be able to cover my bum. If you have a very big bum, you go up by at least 2 inches to be able to cover your bum. So I'm just connecting it from my waist up to the 2 inches I added. Then I'm going to take out 2 inches from my waist. I'm going to bring it outside by 2 inches so it doesn't go into my bum. So the extension for my back crotch is also 2 inches. So I'm bringing the 2 inches all the way down to my hem. I'm connecting it all the part. I'm adding 2 inches allowance. So I'll just connect that 2 inches to my crotch. I'll just loop it down to my crotch and connect it to my hemline. So now I'm just using my French curve to connect the crotch to the 2 inches I came out by. Make sure that the curve is not too much so it doesn't go into your bone. So now I'm just using the straight line now to connect the 2 inches down to my hemline. So now I'll cut out. Remember we went up by 1.5, so it's going to be slopey from that part of the center back so down to the waistline. See, that's 1.5 we went up by. So on the middle of the front, I decided to come down by half inch. You can do 0.75, but I think half inch is just okay for this pants to just help the waist look relaxed and slopey as well. So I just marked the half inch and I cut it out to make it balanced on the waistline. So So now I'm going to cut the pocket. I have this fabric. I'm using 7 inches by 11. Then it's on fold. It's 4 pieces. It's going to give me 4 pieces by the time I cut it out. So I'm just marking it to get the 7 by 11. The 7 is going to be where I will sew on the trouser. Then the 11 is the depth of the pocket. So I'll just cut it out slow. I'm just going to curve it out so that the pocket will be curvy, because we're making an invisible pocket. So our pocket is ready. Now we're just going to join the trouser on the crotch. On the crotch, this is the trouser. I forgot to mark the parts of the pocket. So on the pocket, you just come down by 1.5 from your waistline and notch it. All the four together, all the 4 pieces of the trouser, just come down from the waist. From there, now you see the 1.5 that are notched. So from your waist, you notch the 1.5. So now I've sewn in the crotch depth of the trouser. So now where I mark that 1.5 is where I'm going to sew the pockets. Each one, front and back, is going to have their own pieces. So that is for the front. Then for the back, it is the same way. I will just sew it straight. I'm just going to sew it straight for the front and the back. So this is it. I've sewn the pockets to the front parts, and equally I've sewn it to the back as well. So this is the front part with the pockets, and this is the back part with the pockets. Now you will notice that the trousers are no more equal, because the front part is smaller than that of the back, but you don't have to worry. When you want to sew it, you're just going to drag it and make sure that they are equal when you're sewing it. So how do you go about sewing it? You just take from the waistline. So just, you watch how I describe. You just take away from the waistline and go around through the pockets and bring it down. That's how you're just going to run it through. It's nothing difficult. So now I've run it through. I've sewn it already. I weaved and sewn. So now I'm just going to join the crotch to the crotch, and then I will just sew it round. It's a very simple and easy way to sew it. So I'm just going to join that part. So now I've joined it already. So I'm just going to measure around the waist. So I'm going to measure around the waist to get the band of my trouser. So now I've measured around the waist, and I'm going to cut exactly what I have. What I have now, if I'm going to cut it on the trouser, I will add extra 1 inch, because I'll be joining the middle of the band with half of an inch. You understand what I mean? So this is my elastic. I don't have the wide elastic, so I have to join this small one. So now this is my band. I've already cut it and ironed it, but remember I told you I'm going to add extra 1 inch. So this band is longer than my waistline. I measured with extra 1 inch. So now this is my elastic for my waist. Just make sure that you take whatever can fit your waist properly. So now this is it. This middle part, I'm going to take it and join it to the other middle part and run it on half an inch. This part is where I will put at the middle, because it's going to serve as where my elastic and my rope for the trouser is going to pass. So now this is it. This is the way I'm going to join it. I will join half. I'm going to join it a little further, then I'll give a space and continue and join the other part of it. That space is going to be where the rope and the elastic is going to pass. So now I'll join at this bottom, then on the middle part I'll give a space. This place is where it's going to be outside. On the band is where it's going to show outside. Then I'll join the other side. So that space is where the band is going to pass. So this is what I meant. This is what I meant. This is the space. Remember that the band is on fold, so it's just on one part of the band. I joined it, but at the middle, this is when I turn it. Now you understand what I mean. So you can see the band. This is where it's going to be at the front. That place that has the hole is where it's going to be at the front. Now I'm going to take my band and I will sew it around. The middle part, like I said, is that part that has the hole, is where it's going to be outside. This part is going to be outside. It's going to be the one showing outside. Then I'll just take it round. I'll just go to my sewing machine, take it, sew it round, and I'll weave it. So now I've joined it round. So now what I'll do is I'll take my safety pin and I'll pass through this hole, will pass the elastic through it. Remember, when passing your elastic, make sure that you secure the end part of your elastic hole so that it doesn't get lost inside. If not, you'll be doing a double work. So you can use a pin to secure it at the other side. So now I'm going to take my elastic through it. So now I've taken most of it. So when I've been able to bring out the other part of the elastic, all I'll have to do is to take it to the sewing machine and make sure that I secure one end of the elastic to the other end. I'll just run it through my sewing machine and secure it with my sewing machine. This is it. So I'm taking out my pin. This is the other part of my elastic. I've taken out my safety pin as well. Now all I'll have to do is to take it to the machine and I will join it very well so it doesn't rip. So now I've joined it. Now I'm just trying to balance up my elastic. Make sure that you stretch it out. So I've balanced up my elastic. I'm just trying to stretch it out before I'll go to the sewing machine. Now what you do at the sewing machine at this point is you take this elastic band now with the trouser to the sewing machine. Now I would say I will sew 1/2 inch at the top and 1/2 inch under, leaving a space at the middle where the rope is going to pass through. So now I'll go to the sewing machine and make sure that you stretch the elastic as you are sewing so it doesn't pack at one part. So I'm stretching my elastic as I'm sewing. Now I'm sewing 1/2 an inch upward. I'll just sew it all around. So when I'm done sewing the upper parts, I will, after the waistband, after the part I joined to the waistband, I'll go up by 1/2 an inch and equally sew on the elastic on that part, making sure to stretch it as we did initially. Make sure that you don't sew it too close to the middle because that middle part, we need that space to pass our rope. So that's why we're taking 1/2 inch upward and 1/2 inch downward, so that we'll have enough space for the rope to pass through. See, now I'm stretching it before sewing it. Yeah, so we're done. So right now we're going to take our rope and we're going to use our safety pin as well to pass the rope through the middle part of the trouser as well. That opening in the middle part is where we're going to pass the rope through. So now I've taken out my rope. And you stretch it out to make sure that the elastic and everything is well stretched out and your rope is equal. So with this now, we are done with the trouser. All we have to do now is to hem the hem of our trouser. So I've already ironed out the hem of my trouser already, so it's just easy for me to just hem it all through. So that's about that for our baggy pants. I hope this tutorial was easy to comprehend. Yeah, I know my video, I had an error while making the video. I didn't know it was positioned the wrong way, but I hope you are able to understand what we did here. It's actually quite easy and fast to make. So this is it with the rope and our elastic and the pockets. Like I said, the pocket is kind of invisible. There's the invisible kind of pocket, so it didn't really show. So this is what we have. Thank you guys for watching. Please kindly like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for everything, guys. See you in the next one.